Hey guys, guess what? I'm making another multicolored 3D print video. Because using the Prusa Slicer's color print feature is just so much fun.
So much fun.
So much fun.
So as mentioned in a previous video, we thought we had bed bugs in our house last year and had to have volumetric heat treatment done in our house. I had a bunch of PLA prints lying around the house that ended up melting during the volumetric heat treatment. One of these projects was a leaf jewelry box that I designed a while ago and 3D printed that was storing my jewelry. So because that jewelry box got all messed up, I've been using an ugly Tupperware box to store my jewelry. And although I plan on reprinting my leaf jewelry box because I really like that design, I decided for this video that I would make a brand new jewelry box. So I know that in the past I've usually started my ideation process by just going into CAD directly, but for this design I decided that I felt like sketching again, and so I started out with some rough ideas of what I wanted the patterns on my jewelry box to look like. So after deciding the patterns that I wanted on my jewelry box, I decided to start CADing a very simplistic cylindrical design with an ornate lid. Then after I finished CADing, I imported the STL files into Prusa Slicer and used the color print feature to add pauses in the prints so that I could unload and load different color filaments during the print. So firstly, I started printing the lid of the jewelry box. That came out well, but then when I started printing the container, I noticed a weird anomaly in the print. So when the printer completes the base of the container and starts printing the walls, it somehow creates this weird bulge around the entire container and prints the walls slightly wider than how it printed the diameter of the base. So I decided to talk to customer support to kind of figure out if there was anything wrong with my printer, why was it doing this, and I don't know, I kind of had a not so great experience again. They started asking me to change things on my printer, and then so I obliged them. I did a couple of stuff like the pulley at the bottom of the printer that moves the is attached to the motor that moves the bed of the printer. That wasn't really attached to the motor correctly, like there wasn't a plus minus 1 millimeter gap between the pulley and the motor. Anyway, so after I fixed that, I printed again to see if it had changed anything, if there was still a bulge, and there was still issues. So I continued talking to customer support. Eventually they were like, well, your belt is technically tight enough, like the belt that moves the extruder, that's responsible for moving the extruder between the pulley and the motor. That was technically tight enough, but they were like, it could be tighter, so can you please like re-tighten your belt? At that point I was like, I don't think this is gonna make a difference to this print anomaly, and I didn't feel like taking my entire printer apart, so I just kind of left it and thought about it for a while. And then when I went back to chat, they had closed the chat because I had spent too much time not responding. So I was like, okay, let me just post my issue on the Prusa forum. So after I posted my issue on the Prusa forum, I actually got a response from someone who said that this is actually a very common issue referred to as the bulge, misspelt as BULDGE instead of the correct spelling, and to check search for that misspelling in the Prusa forum, and then I'll find multiple threads talking about this issue and how people have fixed this issue in the past. And as it turns out, this bulging issue is actually pretty annoying. There's a lot of people that complain about it. There's tons and tons of forums and chat discussions talking about how to solve this issue, and apparently not every solution posted has worked for everyone. So it's kind of for your unique project, you may have to scour the internet to find out which one of these solutions works for you, and really kind of go by trial and error. So who knows, I might do a video about this, about my annoying journey trying to figure out which one of these solutions works for me. But for now, I decided I didn't feel like spending a week trying to figure that out. So I just decided to go ahead and finish printing the container part of my jewelry box and just leave the ugly anomaly in there for now. So without further ado, here is my finished jewelry box. I really like it. I think it looks fun and colorful, and I'm looking forward to using it to store my jewelry. Anyway guys, that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!